Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Season 8, Episodes 5 and 6. I was MIA yesterday, but I'm back today. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. I also want to know if you guys knew that there's a twist this season with a group of intruders. There's about 6 to 8 single people who are going to be sent in to entice the already married couples. I didn't know about this. Did y'all know about this? And if you did, why didn't you tell me? I looked at the cast photos for that, and I think I'm going to drop a video of my first impressions of them tomorrow morning. I'm very intrigued, but let's hop into this episode. I predicted 4 couples, you guys. At this point, I'm an expert. These next 2 couples I predicted. We have Shona, who is a hopeless romantic, and Brad, who has rediscovered himself through spirituality.
My teenage years I found really hard, and that stuck with me for a long time, my bulimia. It was very all the way up to 21. Since I broke up with my ex-partner, I haven't been on a date with anybody. I would just go for people literally would just be really, really shitty.
Okay.
Aura I'm attracted to is warm, kind, loving.
Meditation really helped me connect and accept who I am and the path that I'm on. My mum and my sister both raised me together, and that's really impacted the respect that I have on women. I had Keegan when I was just turning 18. Keegan is my best friend and he is the light of my life.
I gotta say, Brad, dark horse, truly. I didn't expect him to be such a softie. I didn't expect him to be such a nurturer, looks are really deceiving. Truly, they are. I didn't think that he would be like an asshole or anything, but I wasn't expecting this sweet guy that he is. And I hope that this is truly who he is and not just, the first few weeks and then his real character shows. But yeah, he definitely has a dark horse, and I'm glad that he's been partnered up with Shona, because the way that she's such a hopeless romantic, she really needs somebody who is going to buy in to the fairy tale of love that she's already bought into. The next couple that we have is Porsha, who is just as bougie as her name. She's also a devout Christian, and Terence, who is a father of 3 and a party boy.
I like looking good. I like other people looking good. I like things looking good. I have a son, he's nearly 3, and he's the absolute apple of my eye. My relationship with Jesus and God is so important to me. I've only had a few relationships, but most of them have cheated on me, and so yeah, it's been tough. I stopped going clubbing, no more China whites for me.
I'm that guy right there. I'm a proud father of 3 sons. I've never been married, never been engaged. I'm doing this because I feel like I've not always had the best luck in relationships. I need her to look after the house, look after the kids, and make me feel good when I come in from work.
At this point, I'm thinking absolute setup. Absolute setup. For starters, she's a devout Christian. Later on, he says that he is a Christian. And it's not my place to say what he is or what he isn't, but they definitely are misaligned in how devoutly they are dedicated to their Christianity. Let me go with that. She also wants somebody who is athletically built, with an athletic build and with nice teeth. Don't think he matches the athletic build part, and his teeth look nice. He just has a gold tooth. So at this point, I wasn't really sure if she was in for it, but it was giving setup 1000%. At the hen party, Shona had said that she's already in love with her husband, even though she hasn't met him. And when she does meet him, it's almost as if she knew this was gonna happen.
Oh my God, he's so fit. Tattoos, tall, tan.
Wowza, she's absolutely everything that I would have imagined. She's my perfect type. I feel the energy and the chemistry there. Everything happens for a reason, and I believe us becoming connected is one of those things. I'm grateful to be blessed with an adventure that will enable us to experience every emotion the human body is capable of producing.
Listen, between the sheer admiration of each other, Brad's vows, I was getting butterflies as if he was saying them to me. He did so well. No, this couple, yeah, this is a good one. Quick interjection. Now that I'm hearing the vows again, I'm a little concerned because he said every human emotion possible. A lot of them are also negative. So, maybe it wasn't as sweet as I thought it was the first time, but I'm still rocking with this couple. Porsha says that she is 100% committed to this process. However, when she sees Terence, she's sizing him up a little bit. She's not disappointed, but she's taking notes.
Rough.
What's it wrong?
I can't believe how beautiful my wife is.
Are you a Christian?
She hasn't even asked me my name yet.
Yeah, I am. Okay. Yeah, I'm Christian. Yeah.
He's 6'2", he's got a gorgeous beard, and I'm just like, ding, ding, ding.
I was genuinely surprised by these two hitting it off. By these two hitting it off. Yeah, I didn't think, just based off what she said that she was looking for, I didn't think that she would see Terence in that way, but she does, which is great. Then they're talking about both being parents, and they love that the other is a parent so that they, can understand. However, Terence's kids are a lot older. And also, I hope, it might not be an issue for her, but I would ask, why is the age gap so big? I think it said like 23, 16, and 9. Something like that. Yeah, I would have questions. And also, Porsha's kid is 3. I'd have questions about that too. My heart absolutely melted when Terence got to meet Porsha's son.
Look at her smile.
Smiling?
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Mummy very happy.
Good. Mummy's very happy. Yeah.
Honestly, if not for the lifestyle differences, these two, perfection. Literal perfection. Like, they both find each other attractive. They both seem to have this chemistry. The families get along. It's just the fact that he is a party boy and she's a devout Christian who's in bed by 9 o'clock on the dot. You know what I mean? It's going to be an issue for sure. If not for the lifestyle differences, they would have been my front runners for me. But as of right now, that title still goes to Jay and Luke. But followed shortly after is Brad and Shona. They're a really good couple too. Before I head on to episode 6, I also wanted to make a point of talking about Brad's son, who wrote a list of what preferences he would want his stepmom to have. Literally, Shona is all that to a T. It was just so cute, guys. Like, these two are really meant to be. Good job, experts. You did well. So in episode 6, Peggy says that she's trying to get to know who George is without all the bells and whistles.
I mean, look at you. What shape.
They covered up,
They are.
like adult content. Would that be a problem for you if I did that?
I'm never going to be someone to hold you back.
Really?
I'm always going to be someone that
Even if it
would
was a
help
bit
you.
degrading, though? No, I was hoping for a no. I wouldn't do anything for the money.
Of course, this man would love to be with a freaking OnlyFans model. He was foaming at the mouth at the fact that she was wearing a bikini. I can only imagine how much support he'd be giving to an Only. This reminds me of, that was Australia. Yeah, the girl, what was her name? Oh, I forget the girl's name. But she had an OnlyFans. I'm sure George would have been more than happy to be partnered up with her. They talk about it later, and in as much as I understand where Peggy is coming from, basically saying like, listen, being an OnlyFans model goes against my personal morals. My thing is, he's not encouraging you to be an OnlyFans model. He's just saying, if you were to go down that path, it's your body, it's your business, and I support you through that endeavor. I don't think inherently that's a wrong thing to say. It's just unfortunate that the subject matter is OnlyFans. Shona and Brad talk about past relationships, and it's clear that these two are fools for love.
I've had a lot of boyfriends and I feel like I love them all. There was one really, really super rocky relationship that I stayed in and I shouldn't have stayed in.
I've been in love twice. I believe you only fall in love 3 times in life.
And I'm your third.
And
10s across the board with these two. 10s across the... If I didn't know any better, I would think they already knew each other. The chemistry is through the roof. The compatibility is on par. It's just so good. I actually have to give the experts their credit because... and me too, because I predicted it. Because is so good. Like, they finally didn't set somebody up for failure. These two later on consummated their marriage, and I'm like, of course they did. Why wouldn't you? This is a match made in heaven. Tasha says that she's very impressed by Paul and his gentleman ways.
I've never been around a gentleman, like he pulls my chair out. He's just being lovely.
In a beautiful venue, about to have a beautiful meal with a beautiful girl.
You've given me a lot of compliments. I don't know how to take it.
You don't have to take it anyway, just accept it. I can bring you with my family, because you're my family now, you're my wife. Oh, you're actually about to cry. Oh, sorry.
It's so interesting when people say, you know, they've been in toxic relationships and stuff, and how it's harder breaking out of that cycle now being in a healthy relationship. Because of course, toxic relationships are hard. But if that's been all you've known, when you're now in a healthier relationship, you can't help but think the other shoe is going to drop. It's going to drop. It's going to drop. And it very well could. But so far, Paul is just knocking it out the park. Truly. He's just creme de la creme. Just so sweet, so kind to this woman. It seems genuine. Seems genuine. I'm really sold on these two. They get a lot more comfortable and intimate with each other. They have not consummated the marriage, but they later on in the honeymoon did have a shower together. To me, that's pretty sexy. Yeah. Porsha wants to investigate a little bit more about Terence and his lifestyle and whether or not he'll be able to provide for her.
Have enough left over to take care of, like, me? Would you expect me to go 50-50? That's the question.
Yeah, 100%.
I never envisioned myself going 50-50 with a man. I did not like that answer.
I don't know what kind of guys you've been dating before, but it don't work like that around here.
One thing about Porsha that I've noticed, she's gonna ask questions in a way to test Terence. And, you know, I feel like the extremes can be bad. Like, if you just tell somebody everything that you want and they just conform to what you say, that is a problem. But if you're also trying to bait them with everything that you say to kind of catch them like, oh, I hate that you said that because I don't believe any of that. It's weird. To me, it's weird. And I've noticed a trend of her doing that, but whatever, it works for them. When it comes to the 50-50 thing, based on the mama's accent, Porsha is an African woman. As an African woman myself, I understand. Me personally, 50-50 is not my portion. But if it's y'all's, that's your business. That's totally fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. George decides that it's time to be a little bit more vulnerable with Peggy. He also wants to apologize for sticking his foot in it.
I needed time to think about it, but you've got more experience in love and in relationships.
I'm so relieved that you've said that, because that is all I've wanted to hear. You've never been in love. I have been in love. Mm-hmm. You don't know me well enough yet.
We are going to work. No, we are going the full shebang.
I'm going to be honest with you. When he brought up the fact that he's never been in a relationship, I'm like, what does that have to do with the fact that you lack tact? You're uncouth. That has nothing to do with not being in a relationship before. That's just interpersonal relationships in general. You should know how to talk to people. Funny enough, I think in the last video, someone in the comments said that he reminds you of like a basement incel. It's kind of giving that. I can't lie. It is kind of giving that. To make matters worse, he talks about what he does for work and how he has a gaming society, and through different bids or something, I forget the details of it all, but through the bids, he then, just think of like on TikTok when you see the girl, ice cream so good, yummy, every time she gets a token or whatever. It's kind of like that. And so he has tased himself in the nipple with a mosquito thing, whatever. He's also done squats with his bum facing the camera. Like, it's very immature. Like, this is something that you expect from a 15-year-old in high school, not a grown man who's signing up to be married. And so Peggy's wondering if this is just a facade of his or there's more going on with George. I think this is just who he is. I think he does have a facade that he keeps up, but then even when you look past the facade, I think he's just immature. Brad lets Shona know that when it comes to sex, he is very explorative. You can almost call him Christopher Columbus.
Quite adventurous in that area, to be fair.
I have not been experimental, really. For me, I feel like I'm very PG. I hope you don't get bored of me.
Babe, you're more than enough.
I was actually glad that they had this conversation, especially after they have consummated the marriage. Like, okay, so we know that sex is on the table. Now that it is a conversation, let's actually talk about it, especially because in the UK season, I forget the name, but Kwame and the black woman, I forget her name. And then in the Australian version, the girl with the red hair and the guy with the face tattoos, I forget these people's names, guys. That's how you know. I just watch these shows and then move on. But those two couples and the older lady. Yeah, it is a theme in Married at First Sight that there is a lot of sexual incompatibility, sexual frustration, more so on the women's end. So yeah, in this case, he's letting her know, listen, I like to do a lot, learn a lot, give a lot, get a lot. Are you ready for the ride? She's here for it. She's like, he is this sexy sex god. I'm like, oh, honey, I love that you love it because wow, it's giving perfect match. We learned that Terence is a party boy through and through. Porsha's not here for it.
Friday night, potentially, I could have a booking somewhere.
Is that the kind of lifestyle you want?
But I think it's just music.
How's this lifestyle affected you in the past? Like, how have your exes dealt with it?
I've been naughty before in the past.
Are you going to elaborate?
Yeah, I've cheated before in the past. I've done it a couple of times.
I think that at this point, they've reached the point of no return. On top of their lifestyles not matching up, she has an insecurity of being played. He has cheated multiple times in the past. It doesn't seem like she's going to come around to his lifestyle. Even though, I will say, at the end of the episode, she did share that she's been trying to stay up longer to, you know, accommodate his own schedule that he has going on. Granted, if he's out, he's going to be out till like 2, 3, 4 a.m. So staying up till 10 isn't really that much of an effort, but it's fine. She says that she's been trying, but with the lifestyle, with his past in relationships, they've reached a point of no return. Even if he was to redeem himself in her eyes through this process, I don't see them ending together. And even by the end of the honeymoon, things don't get better. They don't get better at all. It gets very explosive between them. They start to get a little disrespectful, how they're talking to each other. She likes to discuss things on her own time, and when she doesn't want to talk, she expects him not to talk. He thinks that that's unfair, which it is. It is. Yeah, it's a wash between these two. On the last day of the honeymoon, Tasha and Paul have officially claimed the title of my favorite couple.
I've never, ever experienced anything like this. I don't know why I keep crying.
Oh, Tasha, give me a hand. Like, you just give me butterflies.
Paul. No one has ever had good intentions for me, so this is why I'm so happy. I do see you in my future.
It's nice to hear that, you know what I mean?
Man, what a great pairing. I was concerned. I was. But I had nothing to be concerned about. I mean, so far, other things can pop up in time. But so far, this connection is immaculate. Like, the man is just so sweet, so tender. She's receptive of it all. She's trying to break the negative patterns of her past. He's just, I wonder how things are going to work when he's used to being under his mom's roof. And he kind of wants a woman to put him in his place. And I'm just like, come on, man, like, you know, but so far they seem to be okay with the dynamic that they have going on. I'm here for it. I've already told you guys my other front runners as well. Like, I got a top three, and these two are at the top. I'm going to say though, even though it does feel like a couple of the couples were set up for failure, I can kind of see why they were put together. Even with Porsha and Terence, it's unfortunate that they can't get along. But at the core of who they are, there really was potential there. There was potential. It's just unfortunate that their lifestyles don't align. George and Peggy had another fallout related to what he does for work now. And he decides to not necessarily apologize, but add some clarity to what he actually does, and that it isn't a sexual thing. She shouldn't be worried about what he does. And then he also has like this declaration of his commitment to this process. My issue with this couple is, one, the immaturity of him, and two, the fact that he only starts to critically think about things that he's done and said after he gets reprimanded by Peggy. To me, that is so exhausting. It is so exhausting to have to be the parent to your partner. Big man George needs to be told off by his wife, lament on what he's been told, to then come back like, no, if it were me, I need a man who's able to think for himself for the most part. Yes, in relationships, there is a good give and take in where I can teach you things, you can teach me things. There's beauty in that. But I got to teach you everything? No. Worse, if I want to be a mother, now I'm mothering the children plus you? Absolutely not. No, just not doing it. Anyways, in the next episode, the couples move in and we get to see the first dinner party. I'm so excited. We see that Nathaniel has left the process. Don't know how they're going to explain that. He did do a video of him leaving the process. Maybe I'll do like a quick little review of that if it's relevant to what they show in the next episode. But yeah, I'm excited. There's some potential in this season. As always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.